Thank you for your interest in the Basic and Applied Social Psychology program at the City University of New York. This slideshow will provide you with some information about our program. We also invite you to visit our website at cunybasp.org, where you can read more about our program and how to apply. We'll start with our mission statement. The Basic and Applied Social Psychology program at the CUNY Graduate Center trains students in the theories, principles, and research methods relevant to the conduct of social psychological research. The primary goal of the training program is to produce rigorous, competent, and creative researchers who are well-versed in the traditional canon of social psychology, but can apply this knowledge to engage with innovative questions and pursuits. We emphasize here the focus on both basic and applied research in our program. If you review the profiles of our faculty members, you'll see that many of us are working in topic areas whose end goal is to, for example, facilitate improvements in health and educational policy, reduce economic, racial, or gender inequalities, bridge political divides, and so on. Not all research programs fit this mold, but the emphasis on both basic and applied research is not something you will see in many other programs in social psychology. We adopt an apprenticeship model of training, wherein you will work closely with faculty members in their research labs immediately upon entering the program. All students are assigned a primary and a secondary advisor. The primary advisor is the person you will work most closely with and who will serve as the advisor for your thesis and your dissertation. The role of the secondary advisor is more fluid. Some students are active members of their secondary advisor's labs, whereas for other students, the secondary mentor serves in a more informal role. Students have flexibility in how much contact they have with their secondary advisor. We view our doctoral students as junior colleagues, particularly as they progress in the program and shift from working on faculty-led projects to developing their own research programs, teaching their own classes, presenting at conferences, and so on. A lot happens in 4 or 5 years, and professional development is part of what underlies this shift. During this time, students participate actively in our colloquium series, meet scholars from other universities, establish professional networks, and learn how to prepare for the job market. Our curriculum consists of 60 credits. In the first bucket, we have our foundational courses. Our 2-course social psychology sequence covers all the core topics in social psychology and is structured so that first and second year cohorts take the course at the same time. The BASP Colloquium Series is a weekly meeting for faculty and students in which both members of our program and outside speakers present their research. We also use this time for program meetings, skill development like learning how to use new statistical software, and alumni panels wherein graduates of our program who work in non-academic or industry positions return to tell us about the type of work that they're doing. The final foundational courses include 3 core electives or special topic courses within BASP. Recent and future core electives include courses on stigma, close relationships, cultural psychology, emotions, and attitude and persuasion. The methods and statistics bucket includes introductory graduate level courses in these areas, as well as at least 1 advanced course and 2 sections of directed and independent research. These independent research courses are effectively mechanisms for achieving credit while working in labs and completing milestones like the thesis. Next, we have the professional development courses. These include a teaching practicum course, where you learn best practices in teaching and build out materials for a course that you will be teaching, an ethics course, and a professional development course, where you learn about building out your curriculum vitae, applying for grants, and preparing for the job market. Finally, we have the breadth and general electives. These courses allow you to move outside of BASP and enroll in other psychology and non-psychology courses that are of interest to you. These electives provide an opportunity to think about how to bridge your work with other disciplines or leverage the knowledge developed in other fields to generate novel theories or research ideas in psychology. In addition to your curriculum requirements, we have several milestones that parallel those you will see in other doctoral programs. The first doctoral exam is effectively equivalent to the master's thesis. In fact, you can apply for an official en route master's degree after you have completed this milestone. This first major research project may be a spin-off of something that your advisor is doing, or something you developed in conjunction with your advisor, but it is not intended to be large in scope. Rather, it introduces you to all stages of the research process, from searching the literature and writing a proposal, to designing and conducting your study, to presenting your data to the BASP community. The second doctoral exam can be completed in one of two ways. One option is to write a review paper, akin to what you would see in Psychological Bulletin or Personality and Social Psychology Review. The other is to develop a grant proposal that could be submitted for funding in the future. These activities parallel the types of professional activities you would be engaging in following graduation. In many doctoral programs, the second doctoral exam, or what is often called the comprehensive exam, involves sitting down and answering a series of questions over the course of several hours or several days. Here in BASP, the second doctoral exam serves as a continuation of ideas initiated during your first doctoral exam, and in turn, it informs or serves as the basis for the dissertation that you will complete in the future. So, for example, sections of your second doc might be reworked to serve as the literature review for your dissertation. In this sense, the earlier milestones serve as stepping stones for the later milestones, rather than being completely distinct projects that bear no relevance to each other. Your training culminates in the dissertation. This includes an oral defense of your proposed project with your committee, completion of the project and manuscript, and then an oral presentation with your committee that other members of the BASP community and family can attend. The dissertation is larger in scope than the master's thesis and reflects the most independent form of work you will do during your graduate career. Finally, before leaving the program, all students are expected to engage in a few additional activities. These include submitting a first author manuscript for publication, presenting at a conference, and then attending at least one additional conference. How does BASP fit into the Graduate Center at CUNY? CUNY is a very large organization and can be a little confusing. The Graduate Center is the PhD granting institution of the City University of New York. Members of our faculty have two appointments. One is at the CUNY College, where they were hired. This is where they do their undergraduate teaching. The other is at the Graduate Center, where they teach in one or more doctoral programs. The psychology department at the Graduate Center has 10 training areas, and BASP is one of these. Students receive a degree in psychology, but must meet the requirements of the particular training area into which they were admitted. That said, BASP students have access to resources and courses throughout psychology, including courses offered in other training areas. One unique opportunity we offer in BASP is to dual specialize with psychology and law. So students accepted into either the BASP or the psychology and law training areas can apply for dual specialization, in which they take courses in both areas. In order to fit these within the required 60 credits, students undergoing the dual specialization are exempt from taking a few courses normally required of their primary training area. These include courses such as professional development and the teaching practicum. Where will you spend your time? BASP PhD students are Graduate Center students. Most BASP classes are thus held at the Graduate Center. Occasionally, you would take courses on other campuses. For example, you might take ethics at Baruch College or statistics at John Jay. But most courses taught by BASP faculty are held at the Graduate Center. As mentioned previously, we meet here as a program for our weekly colloquium research presentations and our program meetings. All administrative functions are also at the Graduate Center. We consider the Graduate Center to be our home or our hub, even though most of the faculty do not have their original appointments at the Graduate Center. BASP students also adopt a home campus outside of the Graduate Center. Which campus depends on where your primary and sometimes your secondary advisors have appointments. Outside of classes and colloquium meetings, BASP students may spend most of their time at, for example, Baruch College or Brooklyn College or Queens or Hunter. For example, because that is where their labs and their workspaces are located. Your teaching appointments will also be on one of these senior college campuses. For example, you might conduct most of your research at John Jay, but serve as a teaching assistant for courses at Baruch College. CUNY is in the heart of New York City, which offers many educational institutions as well as cultural opportunities. New York City is made up of many smaller neighborhoods that each have their own subcultures and communities, which allows students to achieve a hometown feel in a big city. The arrows show the various CUNY institutions within New York City. The GC, or Graduate Center, is in Midtown Manhattan, right across from the Empire State Building. The primary home campuses where BASF students may conduct their research or teach their courses include Hunter, John Jay, Queens, Brooklyn, and Baruch. Other colleges in CUNY include City College and the College of Staten Island, although currently most BASF students do not spend much time on these campuses. The black circles show where many of our students live, although students may find housing anywhere in New York City. All students who are admitted to our program receive full tuition reimbursement for 5 years. They are also eligible for New York State health insurance and receive an academic year stipend. Historically, this has fallen between $25,000 and $30,000 per year. There are other opportunities for funding. Students can apply for a doctoral student research grant, which typically offers about $1,500 to cover research expenses. There is some financial support for conference attendance, typically around a few $100s. As you get closer to working towards your dissertation, you can apply for a competitive dissertation fellowship. These offer up to $25,000 to support work on the dissertation. Finally, students can work on grant-funded research being conducted by their faculty advisors. Faculty grants sometimes help to cover the cost of travel to conferences as well. All funding packages involve some teaching, usually in the 2nd through 4th years. Teaching may take the form of a teaching assistantship, typically during the 2nd year, or a full course as the instructor on record. If you are offered a spot in our program, we will explain to you the type of funding that we can offer you and the responsibilities that are tied to that funding. This will allow you to factor this into your decision making. As part of these funding packages, students are also expected to commit to working in a research lab. These responsibilities are tied to your research training and aimed at helping you progress toward your milestones. As you consider whether to apply to our program, you may ask what makes us unique. We like to say we do science the right way, which includes a focus on theory-grounded scholarship. Although many faculty members' research programs have clear applied implications, studies are designed with an eye towards understanding basic theoretical mechanisms underlying phenomena. We believe that theory informs practice, and that what is happening in the real world shapes theory. Our program does a terrific job of balancing these two considerations. Both in formal classes and in our labs, we teach students what it means to conduct research ethically and responsibly. Responsible conduct of research touches on all aspects of the research process, including transparency in data collection and analysis, use of open science practices such as pre-registration and the use of data repositories, and best practices in authorship. We place a strong emphasis on proficiency in methods and statistics, as these are skills you will need in any type of job you have following graduation, whether that be in academia or industry. In addition to our required courses, all students have the opportunity to earn a quantitative or qualitative concentration by taking additional courses in these areas. These certifications are unique to our program and may offer graduates an advantage on the job market. We are a supportive and inclusive community of scholars. Our program is not a competitive one in which students are trying to tear one another down, but a cooperative one in which we build each other up. We believe everyone benefits when we support one another in our professional and personal lives. CUNY offers a breadth of resources. We have a diverse set of scholars who cover a wide range of expertise, so you won't have to go far to find the answer to a question. Collaboration opportunities exist both within and outside our department. Finally, and consistent with CUNY's overall mission to address historical inequities and provide opportunities to people of all backgrounds, we in BASP have a strong commitment to social justice. This is reflected not only in the type of work that some of us do, but also in the conversations that play out in everyday discussions. Regardless of background, students who enter our program will feel at home and supported. That concludes our brief presentation. We encourage you to visit our website at cunybasp.org to learn more about our faculty, our curriculum, and the process of applying to our program. You can also reach out to Kristen Summer at kristen.summer@baruch.cuny.edu or any of our faculty members with additional questions about the program.